Now, and then I can be late from the.
Director bus just showed up.
You can start anytime, Rob.
Okay.
We don't have any business tonight anymore. There's no business tonight anymore.
All right, so at 6 o'clock, we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to call to order the joint board meeting for Western Lane Fire and EMS Authority, Western Lane Ambulance District, and Siuslaw Valley Fire and Rescue. If you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Holly, would you like to do roll call?
Yes, our Siuslaw Valley Fire Rescue and WLFEA directors, Director Burns, Director Polisi, Director Heppel,
Present.
Director Spade,
Here.
Director Mendolia, Western Lane Ambulance and WLFEA directors, Director Yesney,
Here.
Director Russell,
Here.
Director Webb,
Here.
Director Holbrook, Director Buss.
Here.
All right, I believe we have a quorum for Western Lane Ambulance District, but not for WLFEA or Siuslaw Valley, correct, Eden? You're on mute.
Sorry, we have a quorum for Western Lane Ambulance and WLFEA, just not as Siuslaw Valley Fire.
Okay.
Not real clear.
WLFEA needs 3 people.
We have 6.
3 from each.
We have
3 from each district.
Oh,
We have
that's
3
correct.
people.
You're correct. Thank you, Chief.
All right, public comment. Did anyone sign up?
Nobody signed up tonight.
Okay, is there? All right. Next on the agenda, we have a special presentation for Captain David Rossi. David, if you would mind coming up, please. So we do have our award banquet coming up on Saturday. Unfortunately, Captain Rossi can't make it. His grandson is playing in the spring football game for the Oregon Ducks, which is very exciting
Go Ducks.
and understandable, which I know he's very proud of. However, we thought it was special that we honor Captain Rossi in a public setting. He's up for 2 awards tonight. The first award is the Officer of the Year, which is voted on by all of the staff, the crews, part-time, full-time, volunteers, admin, and management. So it's a great honor to be voted Officer of the Year, and it goes to show his hard work and dedication. And then he's also being recognized for his years of service. David has 39 years of service in. It will be 40 years on March 15th, correct? And then last, probably my favorite award, which is it's very prestigious. It's the Meritorious Service Award, which I've asked Director Russell to present. So David, if you wouldn't mind coming up.
This was submitted by Rob Chance. And what he wrote is to the awards committee, recommendation for meritorious service award for Captain David Rossi to be presented at the 2023 awards banquet. Captain David Rossi has performed extraordinarily beyond the expected and assigned job duties that he has been tasked with. Achievements. You ready? Over the course of nearly 40 years of service, starting March 15, 1984, Captain Rossi has demonstrated everlasting and persistent drive to serve this community. Throughout his tenure, he has impacted countless lives in the field and helps maintain the history of our service. Captain Rossi works tirelessly to maintain integrity of the personnel and image of the authority. He has always made himself available to off-duty to respond to emergencies or other matters of the district. Over his tremendous career, Captain Rossi has influenced over 150 personnel serving the great agencies of Western Lane Hospital Ambulance Service, that's going way back, isn't it? Western Lane Ambulance District, Sayusala Valley Fire and Rescue, Mapleton Fire District, and Western Lane Fire and EMS Authority. Captain Rossi created the TLC program, which works to provide aspirations for those facing end of life or tragic life alterations. Through this remarkable program, we have served dozens of members within our community and helped them with acceptance, peace, and happiness. The gratitude and reactions of those served is an experience that members of other organizations may never appreciate or over a 4-decade career. Captain Rossi's attitude is nothing short of magnetic and infectious. His selflessness, caring nature, kindness, and positivity always promotes an atmosphere of responder safety and trust. He has been present for our rescued many responders, including myself, from the tragic, meaning Rob, but also myself when I was working in the ER, working alongside of you. From the tragic exposures of stressors of our profession, he is a natural role model, mentor, and supportive asset. Western Lane and Fire and EMS Authority Meritorious Service Award presented to Captain Rossi for over 39 years of honorable service. By his determination, perseverance, and selfless dedication to duty, Captain Rossi upholds our highest regards for standards and conduct, and is a credit to himself, his community, and to Western Lane Fire and EMS Authority. This is the letter that I just read. That we now have ribbons for the awards, and they explain what they are. You want to explain what?
Yeah, so we're moving to a new system, and I give credit to the awards committee. We put a lot of thought into this. Tom Kozlowski, Lieutenant Tom Kozlowski, Engineer Don Quinn, and we brought in Mary Diamond in as well. Tom put these together. He assembled in order of precedence, right? So we have the years of service, which David is the most decorated. We got 39 years. Here in the middle, we have the Officer of the Year, and then finally we have the Meritorious Service Award. And Tom took the time to build all of those. And they can go right next to the other ribbon that David already has for his achievements. Thank you, Drew. So something that David and I share in common, we both have a love for cookies, so I picked up some cookies. If you'd like to stay after and congratulate him, help yourself to a cookie, you're more than welcome to. Moving on with the agenda, we have a crisis response program update. Camille,
Hi, everyone. Congratulations, Captain Rossi. Woohoo! Just want to say that. Some great updates and changes with our program. We have changed our name to Western Lane Crisis Response to better reflect the WLFEA standard and pride that we have for our community. We did have our other full-time client advocate put in her 2 weeks notice, so she is going back to just being part-time. So we only have one full-time client advocate to do follow-up. So that's a big change that we're working through. And we have a plan on addressing that with the part-time staff that we have. So we're working on that, and training starts next week with Mel. So that's awesome. And then wonderful news, Mel has accepted the position of assistant manager to help me out while I'm on my maternity leave. And then she'll be doing that full time as well. So I just want to say a big congratulations and kudos to her. She's done amazing, has always been there with me working through this, and has really gotten this program to where we need it, and keep going and striving forward. Lori Severance, who is our caseworker, has officially turned in her pregnancy brain. She has turned in her she's retiring full-time starting June. So we have hired Susan Lewis, who is a licensed clinical social worker in California, and she will be doing case review via telephone, and then coming up 2 times a year to kind of do trainings and get to know the team and everything, and just see how everything is going. We have our first stakeholder meeting, which will be the June 21st, and everybody is invited to come. We're talking about updates that the county is asking us to do, and then making sure our mission and vision is being updated and still aligning with everything that we're doing in our program. So that's some great things that's coming down the road. I wanted to give a little bit of statistic updates on the program. Last month we had 48 calls in total. 8 were mental health calls, 5 were homelessness, 4 family disputes, 5 sudden deaths, 1 drug and alcohol, 6 canceled, 19 kind of other calls. And then we prevented 12 calls from going to the emergency room. So that's some big information. We did take 4 people to the hospital, but I think it's better to show that we're making a difference in our community. So that's awesome too. We did respond to the Justice Center 3 times. And based off of the statistics from last year, we had, so this last month, we had 48 calls. A year ago, we had 55 calls. So just trying to keep track of the trends and seeing what's going on with the calls and everything. And then I wanted to let Mel give an update. She had her first foundation meeting, and then she applied for a grant. And so I'll let Mel take it away from here.
Thanks, Kim. So we are going to be starting a foundation. We have a lot of plans and ideas on how the program can grow to better support the community and first responders, but funding, as you know, can be a challenge. With our program not being a 501c3 because we're under WLFEA, we decided to create the foundation that's separate from our crisis program, but the funding is still going to support our program, hopefully. This opens the door to a larger variety of grants and allows us to ask for charitable donations that are tax exempt to our donors. The idea of this foundation has been met with a lot of support and enthusiasm from partners and community members so far. And with our first planning meeting, we were able to establish a board of directors, and we have a few members. We've already registered the foundation name, which is going to be Western Lane Crisis Response Foundation, with the state, and have started collaborating with community partners and other local nonprofits. And we consulted with a lawyer, or we have an appointment to consult with a lawyer from the Center of Nonprofit Law. That is scheduled for next week, and we're hoping that they can point us in the right direction and just make sure that we're doing everything right as far as WLFEA goes and funding the program with donations. So far, that's about it, and we look forward to sharing more updates as we progress. And then Montana and I have been working on a grant for Western Lane Community Foundation. The funds are going to go towards new team radios, office equipment, an iPad for the new transport vehicle, and other supplies like kits and items that can assist community members with their individual needs. We're also hoping that it kind of relieves some of the program budget to fund additional paid hours for our part-time team members to be able to help us with some of these tasks that are kind of piling up on us that we need to get done. That we should know about that grant by July 30th, and we're pretty hopeful. It looks pretty promising, so we'll let you know how it goes.
Awesome. Thank you, Melissa. Any question from the board? Anything that I can clarify? All right. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, next is the consent agenda. We had the 2 budget workshops and then the staff reports. Does anybody have anything they'd like taken out of the consent agenda?
No.
No? Okay. Hearing none, then we'll move on to call volume. Chief House, did you have any comment on call volume?
It was in the board packet as well. I would just, the only remark is last month's trends were higher compared. So we're starting to see an uptick compared to the last few years. We did drop off. I don't foresee us catching up entirely the rest of this year, but you never know. June can be a very busy month. Same thing with May. But right now, as we're tracking, we're about 200 calls behind from last year to this year. But it's good to see our monthly totals be up compared to last year.
Review of monthly financials. Dina?
Hi, everybody. I really don't have a lot to report on the financials. They're looking good this far into the fiscal year. I did want to mention that some of the directors might see some different numbers on the Siuslaw Valley and Western Lane Ambulance balance sheets when it comes to the capital amounts at the bottom of the reports. The audits are done, and the auditors had me do some journal entries that affected those dollar amounts, and I'm questioning some of those journal entries, so I have a meeting with them next week to get clarification. You may see those numbers change. They will also be, one of the auditors will be presenting the audits at next month's board meeting. So if anybody has questions, we'll have that opportunity. Also to mention that the both budgets, Siuslaw Valley Fire and Western Lane Ambulance budgets for next fiscal year have been approved by both budget committees. And the next step is to have them adopted next month at the May board meeting. So official notices will go out to the Siuslaw News to give the official notice for those meetings, and we will have a public hearing to adopt the budgets. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions on the financials.
Dina, this is Rick. I just have one. There's a account receivable on WLFEA. What do you know what that is?
So let me scroll down to, so that's on the WLFEA.
Yeah, I think it's page 42 or something.
On the balance sheet.
Yeah.
So which count are you questioning?
1,200. I just wondered what an account receivable would be for in WLFEA.
Might be the reimbursements from that we invoice, WLFEA invoices Siuslaw Valley Fire and Western Lane Ambulance to reimburse expenses, and that might be it. I'd have to look into the financial software to know for sure, and I don't have that open right now. But I will jot that down and have an answer for you at the next board meeting.
Okay, that makes sense if you're billing WLFEA or
The two
the
districts.
SVFR and Western Lane, so. Yeah, just shoot me an email, Dina.
Will do.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? All right, moving on to old business. There is no old business. There's no new business. So we'll move on to director comments. Anything the directors would like to share?
I'll just share one thing, in regards to the Western Crisis Response. So Boys and Girls Club has been trying to partner with Western Crisis Response, to actually have staff on hand at our sites. And we also have a very good grant opportunity that we just submitted for $125,000 for 18 months to have a full-time crisis response person on staff. We will also hear back in July.
That will support Boys and Girls.
Yeah, yeah. So non-competitive grant, I mean, that would be outstanding. So I'm very,
And a lot of work went into that, from what I hear.
yes, it did. There's more, usually there's no work on our side for grants, but grant writer does it, but the team and I spent half a day, better half of the day than putting work together on our side. So the team was really, really great. So I'm very hopeful for that.
Well, I want to say it was an honor to be able to present Captain Rossi, with his award, and, that he is a true asset to this community, and I don't think the community realizes how much of an asset he is. Both professionally and personally, I've dealt with him, and, it's always a pleasure when I see him around. Situations are common with him now.
I don't think anyone would disagree with that. He's special.
Yes, yes.
Any other director comments? All right, some future business. Next joint board meeting is Thursday, May 25th, 2023 at 6:00 p.m.
And awards banquet is tomorrow.
And award banquet is Saturday. I believe starting at 4:30 MD? Four. So I should see her down. All right. So do we have a motion to adjourn? So moved.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Rob,
Rob.
for running the meeting. Good
Yeah.
job, Rob. Record time.
Chief, never could have.
No,
Yeah.
not less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, hey, all right.
Yeah. Chief raising his hand.
Yeah, no, that was